Hello everyone, my name is Faith Mutegi and this is my platform, Parenting Conundrums. So there's a topic that I would like us to discuss about. It's a little bit heavy. It's one of the heavy topics in life, and that's about loss and grief, and most especially death of a loved one. And I want to look at the context of how do you explain death to a child or to children. And I'm hoping that this will become a series because I have realized that there's this gap. What do you exactly say? How do you say it? What is the age group and what are the dynamics when it comes to them understanding about loss and grief, and especially when it comes to death of a loved one? So that's the discussion. This is a space that I would like to create. It's a topic close to my heart, but it's even getting more closer, let me put it that way, or I'm finding it even more critical to share the information and the knowledge that I have, because in this pandemic, death has crept even closer to children. Children have experienced it at a way advanced stage because of all that, the fear and uncertainty that surrounded the pandemic. So I'm hoping that you can, if you have any questions, you can send them my way in the comments section and the different platforms that I share this. It's on YouTube and Parenting Conundrums of Faith Mutegi, and also on Facebook. And if we have personal numbers, then we communicate on WhatsApp and basically on WhatsApp or SMS. So why I'm sharing this is children are usually sidelined when it comes to this heavy topic of loss and grief. So why do I need you to know this? So that as we talked in the previous video concerning conversation starters, it is important for you to start conversations, especially on certain topical issues, such that you are equipping your child with information that they may use in the immediate future, or in the immediate future, or way into adulthood. So loss and grief. Let's get to the basics of children lost a lot of things. When it comes to, yes, it will be the loved ones, but they also lost routine. They also lost certain rites of passage. Like when it comes to the school trips, when it comes to the events that are being held in church, or even the school competitions, basically, children felt the loss. The parent may have lost their job, may have be experiencing tough economic times, so something in the home changed, and children experience it. There are some families that moved from the urban areas to the rural areas, or vice versa. You never know the dynamics. So routines were shifted. The aspect of being out of school for an extended period of time was also a loss. But in this case, I want us to talk about the loss of a loved one. The loss of a loved one. So let's get straight to it. From the word go, let the children know when a death has occurred to someone close to them, a parent, a sibling, a relative, someone close to them. Let them be told as soon as possible. I know there are certain dynamics whereby the child is doing the exams. Okay, so those it's now up to the family. But I'm hoping that whenever a death occurs in a family and there are children involved, let the children be informed as soon as possible. Children are the most effective sponges or consumers of information. You don't have to tell them anything, but they will read it in the mood, in how you have suddenly changed, in how you're relating with them. So by the time you're thinking that you're saving them from, they get the drift. So from the word go, if you are responsible, and a disclaimer in this, I'm not asking you to be perfect. If you need to rehearse some of these phrases, please do rehearse. If you do not have an answer to a question that your child has asked, be honest enough and say, I do not know, but we can look into it. So just give me time and we will see what to do. So let them know. And then keep it short and brief. I know myself, I have a huge word count, but when it comes to such situations, I need to pace myself. I need to be like, I will get the phrases. I don't want to preempt, but keep it short and brief. And by the time you are consuming this content, by the time you're listening to me sharing, you need to be considerate of the child's developmental age. 2-year-olds below, 0 to 2 years, 3 years to 6 years, 7 years all the way to 12 years, then teens, and now adults. One thing that you have to have straight for any time is that children grieve differently from adults, and they grieve differently from other children. There will be a child who you will inform the death of a loved one. It could be the mother, the father, it could be a sibling, and you let them know that someone has died, and the next minute to be like, okay, and then they go and play. It's not wrong. It's not that they are not human. It's not that they are not attached. Children's concept is very different. So don't be surprised that they'll go, and by the time they're going to play, they're trying to process, okay, what did I just hear? And then they will come back and ask. So be ready for repetition. Repetition when it comes to loss and grief, the same way we learned our ABCs. You didn't learn ABC one day, just recited them and that's it. No, you had to repeat. So there are children who will continually ask about dad, mom, shosho, or whoever it is who has died. And you notice that I'm using the word died and not passed away, not has been called by God. Another aspect is, can you use the word died and death? Is dead, has died, and death. Why? Magical thinking. Let me explain. Magical thinking is, and especially in the children, give it 6 years and below, especially that. By the time they are watching cartoons, even for you, if you do watch cartoons, or the ones that you remember, by the time a cartoon is smashed by the rock or dies, they somehow get inflated and they come back to life. Or when it comes to the magical aspect of the wishes and the magic, a child can be like, I pray, I wish, and they hope things can come to life the same way they see on TV. So by the time you are saying that, that they have died, they will never see them again. Yes, there's that aspect of spirituality that we hope to see them later on. But my point is, use the word dead, not asleep, not has gone away, not has been called by God. Why? Let me give an example for me, especially for called by God. By the time someone tells you that someone has been called, the child may unconsciously wait for that person to come back. So there's no transition of past tense. They keep on holding to the hope that this individual, their loved one, is going to come back. So I need you to realize that children know more than you think they know. Shielding children from this heavy topic of death is causing more harm than good. The sooner you share that information, the better. In this age of social media, I pray and hope that the children around you don't receive such heartbreaking news on social media before someone, a trusted adult, can communicate it to them. Okay? So that's my prayer. Then you can ask. If you don't know how to start, you can ask the child, what do you know or understand about death or about dying? And then pick up from there. Okay? So it's, as I said, you can rehearse, or in this case, you can ask the child, what do you understand? Or so that you can gauge. That's what I was looking for. So that you can gauge what they know, and then you add on to the information. So explain that whoever has died, use their name. Use the name, how mother, don't say so and so, or use their name. Hopefully your child knows the parent's name, but can you use that person's name in the same sentence as has died? So I said, you can also use another phrase of, the body was sick and the body has stopped working. I need you to understand that, just like bubbles, and I used an example of bubbles in the setup that I was in. Bubbles, when you blow bubbles, and I should have carried one. When you blow bubbles, there is that aspect of that beauty, but the bubbles are there for an instant and then they disappear, but you're still left with a smile and joy in your heart. So that even though your beloved has, or the loved one is no longer there, you're not able to see them, it's time to remember the good times and always have that joy in your heart and keep it short and brief. Okay, so I want to just stop there, and then in the next video, because I intend to make this a series, I will pick up on more tips and hopefully even cluster them according to the ages, and also what happens when anniversaries come by or the deceased's birthday shows up. So those are conversations that I'm hoping we can have. So don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. We are close to 500 by the time I'm doing this. So kindly consider subscribing and share amongst your networks, because death, unfortunately, has visited every home. So I'm hoping to see you in the next video. All the best and bye-bye.